Hey Sharks, my name's Joe Boo and I'm the founder of Asian Veggies. My business is an online grocery store that specializes in delivering Asian vegetables and pantry items that can't be found at your local supermarkets. We deliver our fresh produce across New York City, parts of New Jersey, and Long Island as well. I'm seeking $500,000 for 10% of our company. With the money that we raise, we're gonna spend majority of it on just warehouse equipment in order to take our business to the next level. We've learned that 70% of our revenue is associated to a lot of the fresh produce that we sell, and so we're gonna dedicate the majority of that money towards building out a second fridge. That second fridge is gonna help us stock more inventory, as well as be able to hold more variants of vegetables and fruits that we can post on the site. While we scale out the fridge, that means we also have to increase our ad budget. With the ad budget means we're also going to hire more delivery drivers, warehouse workers, sprinter vans, and delivery boxes to grow the business. Asian Veggies was born out of the pandemic as a necessity. And to give you a bit of the story, so my dad's been in the produce industry for over 30 years now. And he's always been a wholesaler of Asian vegetables to supermarket suppliers and restaurant suppliers as well. And so at the height of the lockdown, his business had taken a huge hit with a lot of restaurants shutting down as well as supermarkets. And so for the first time ever, he had essentially pivoted to doing retail orders just to break even on some of the inventory that he was getting from his farms. And when he told me about that, I asked him how he was essentially promoting the retail business. He told me, we have a group chat, and every day I send out a daily PDF of the vegetables we have in stock and the price. And so I told him that he could have broadened his reach a little bit more to just people of my demographic, folks who are on social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, or guys who want to search vegetables up and be able to find a local delivery business. He kind of just shrugged it off at the time, and so as in a good son, I took it upon myself to essentially build out Asian Veggies. So what I did was I went to his warehouse, I grabbed 20, 30 vegetables, brought it back to my home, started taking some pictures with it on my iPhone. Within 2 days, I had a website up and running, and on April 16th, we hit the ground running. I shared our website, our story on a couple of Facebook group chats. We partnered with a couple of charities to get some of our vegetables in the hand of some elderly folks, and the business has grown ever since. And just to see some of the products that we have, this is Chinese broccoli that my dad brings in. He imports it directly from Mexico. He's very high up on the supply chain where we actually have direct relationships with partner farms. Every day they send us a trailer's worth of just one type of vegetable, but you need to be able to move volume and able to get these vegetables out of the warehouse. And so here you can see just some of the Chinese broccoli we have here. So when we had our aha moment was when, as we were doing more and more of our deliveries, a lot of customers would reach out to us and say like, thanks Joe for all the work you guys are doing. Like, you don't understand, I live on the Upper East Side, I live in Harlem, I live in Upper West Side, I live in the Bronx. It's just about impossible for us to get access to any types of the produce you guys are selling because the nearest Chinatown is about an hour away from us. And so when we first launched the site, I thought this was just gonna be, a temporary solution for my dad just as the pandemic. But as more and more customers started reaching out, that's when we realized we actually have a business model over here. And so we basically took it upon ourselves. I took on 2 more partners and we rented out our own warehouse over here. And we've been growing our business ever since. So we launched our business in April of last year. And for the year of 2020, we brought in 440K. Year to date, today's April 2nd, we've done 330K and we're projected to do anywhere between 1.8 million to $2 million this year. So in total, we've done 768K and in 2 weeks marks our 1-year anniversary. So far, we've invested about $250,000 of our own personal capital into the business.
So you're probably wondering how the product works. Well, why don't you come on over and I'll show you how it works. It's really simple. All you got to do is go to our website, www.asian-veggies.com. As soon as you get on our homepage, you already you can see all the various products that we offer over here. Usually the first item you see, this is our featured item of the week. Any new product that we get that we think are worth featuring, we'll throw up here in the featured section. And over here today, we have pink muscat grapes. These are really exotic and hard to find. And then this little second tab over here is our new arrivals page. And so for our recurring customers that come back, they tend to go over here to just track and see, what new items we've added to the site. Not too long ago, we had these ivory mangoes from Thailand that done really well. We have this red bean paste that's done pretty well itself. And, we got a good deal on some beefsteak tomatoes. And so we decided to bring that on as well. If you scroll down here, this is our bestseller section. And so you can always go in right here and see just some of the best-selling items that we have, like snow pea shoots, Chinese broccoli, Japanese eggplant, Shanghai bok choy. And, to add items to the cart is relatively straightforward. You literally just hit add to cart, how many you'd like, add to cart, how many you like. And then at the top over here, we also have, categorizations of how we sort our products. And so if someone's looking to get some snacks, for their kids, they can always just dive into the snacks aisle. And we have tons of snacks here, all the Pockies and so forth. And they can just go in and quickly just add some of the snacks that they're looking for. Simple like that. And once they're ready to check out, they can go hit this checkout button right here, check out, and start to fill in their shipping information, their address, their credit card info, and they're good to go. And so as long as you order before 6 p.m., you'll get your order delivered straight to your door the next day. Now, a lot of people are asking us what makes Asian Veggies differentiated. Well, to give you a bit of context, because of COVID-19, the e-grocery space has blown up. A lot of households have become more reliant on vendors like ourselves to deliver just farm fresh produce to their doorstep. So we try not to compete with, the Whole Foods of the world, the Amazons, the Stop and Shops, the Fresh Directs. They all compete within the same circle where they're trying to, beat each other on cabbage, lettuce, carrots, regular eggplants, and it. Our niche is being able to provide Asian specialty produce and as well as pantry items as well. And a lot of the items you see on our site can only be found within your local Chinatown or just a lot of the ethnic markets. And so for a lot of folks to be able to get these items today, especially in New York, they have to drive at least 30 minutes or take a subway for 30, 40 minutes and, lug all those groceries back to their door. And so we're making it much easier for our customers to get access to these items. Not to mention that because we work directly with the farms, we sort of cut out the middlemen in between all the phases. Because your traditional supermarket, how it works is it'll go from farm to a warehouse to another warehouse, finally to the supermarket vendor. And the supermarket vendors will lay out their veggies on the floor. Whereas for us, it's as soon as we know what we need for today's orders, that comes straight out of our fridge, packed and shipped out directly to the customers. And so you could essentially say it's farm to family veggies that we offer our customers. A lot of you are probably wondering what the business means to me. So growing up as a kid, I was never super close with my dad just because he was always working, 50, 60 hour weeks. And so when he would come home, he was kind of like brain dead and would just watch a little TV, go to bed, wake up at 4 a.m. and do it again. And when he first found out that I got into the business or was trying to help him out a little bit, he was kind of like semi-proud, and he probably thought at first it was just like a mini hobby. But eventually when I grew the business, I took on partners, we rented out our own warehouse. He really started to become a little bit more invested in the business. He'd come over every few days and ask us like how we're doing, what our revenues are, what problems we're facing, and he'd try to give a little bit more insights into like how the industry works. And it's nice because now every day I get to talk to him. Just it's funny to be able to talk shop with him versus like being in software sales before that. I never really had any exposure there. And so the business means a lot to me because one, it's another way of getting closer to my dad, and two, I think it just brings him a lot of pride knowing that I'm kind of stepping into the family business and kind of like modernizing it a little bit. And so I'm hoping I can show him some things along the way as well as we continue to build this out. And it'll be, a pretty fun journey and great learning experience. Some of the bigger challenges we face is being in the supermarket grocery industry. It's very labor intensive. It doesn't, you don't, as you get bigger and scale, it doesn't get easier. Maybe processes do, but at the end of the day, if you have 100 orders, you still need more labor to be able to process those 100 orders. And so one of the biggest pain points for us is just being able to allocate our capital, fairly and making sure we're spending it correctly. Just because everything is bootstrapped, so every day we need to be very cognizant of our expenses. Because if we do, end up investing our money into the wrong area, that could come back to, sort of bite us in the butt. And so just having extra capital from the sharks would definitely take our business a long way, because that means, we have a little bit of cushion to work with, and we can actually focus about growing the business versus panicking and just every day wondering like, okay, how are we going to get, enough capital to buy this equipment or to hire more headcount or to do this. And so that's been one of the biggest pain points we faced, or at least I've faced, just every night figuring out where to allocate our capital.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching our video. We'd love to be on your show, and to wrap this up, here's a photo of my dad and I.